I really like Liverpool tomorrow night. This is me, obviously he's not an expert, but I'm really looking forward to this. I just think there's something about them this year that I don't want to say their name is on the cup or anything like that. There's a long way to go, but I'd love to see them get to the final aim, and I have to say.
Yeah, I'd love to. I think everybody would. I'm a Liverpool fan, and my grandson and son are Liverpool fans, but it's a big task, Hugh, and somewhere along the line this goalkeeper Karius is going to catch them out.
Yeah.
And my fear is they've got Dzeko as well tomorrow up front, and I watched Roma play Lazio last week. It was a 0-0 draw.
Yeah, I remember that.
The Roma derby, but Dzeko hit the post, he hit the crossbar, and they'd be dangerous and they need to be respected. And of course it's the possibility of an away goal when they're at home first, which isn't an advantage. And I hope they do it, I really do. But it will be a very much more challenging task than the Premier League presents. These guys know how to defend. They've got some very good players. And Liverpool, the pressure will be on them to score goals tomorrow night. They need to take a 2-goal lead there at least and not give an away goal away. So that's a tall order, a really tall order.
What do you think, Alan?
Yeah, I would agree with a lot of what Eamon said there. I think it's going to be a tricky match, Hugh, and I think it stems back from when the draw was made. Obviously you want to avoid Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, and that looks like it's the easier of all the teams you could have get Roma, but you don't want to get carried away with that thought either, Hugh, and you have to pay them the respect, which I'm sure they will, that they would had to be drawn against maybe the likes of one of the bigger boys. But Roma are decent, and people forget, I know they put on a really good performance in the second leg and came from 3 down, but they were very good in the new camp, and I thought the first leg score for Barcelona actually flattered them.
Did it?
Yeah, because they had 2 or 3 great chances as well, and a couple of the goals that Barcelona scored tonight were laid on in the game, so I don't think the scoreline was reflective of actually
It'll be interesting to see how Roma set up tomorrow night, because if you remember against Barcelona they played 3 at the back, and they played a pressing game quite high up the pitch, and Liverpool like to press as well, so we could have a clash of styles there.
I think they'll revert back to Hugh trying to the Italian way and keeping it tight, like,
do you?
Yeah, because the way Liverpool play at home, they just come at you at 100 mile an hour. You could imagine the atmosphere that's going to be there tomorrow night, the intensity, and I think if they get over that initial period, because Liverpool like to blow teams away in that first half an hour, if Roma were to keep them tight, and maybe if it was 0-0, 1-0 down at half time, I think they'd be happy with that.
Why wouldn't Roma play the way they did against Barcelona when it was so effective, Eamon?
Well, I think it's, it depends what your opponents like to do. Now Barcelona like to press you high and get in your face. Liverpool to a certain extent are a counter-attacking team, so, and it explains some of their bad results at home to weak teams like West Brom beat them there. If a team sits deep, like Alan suggests Roma might do, Liverpool don't have the guile in midfield to sort of work their way around that. What they want would be Roma to press them high, come on to them, and leave space in behind for the front 3 who are deadly to attack. Liverpool really ideally want to counter-attack. Of course, the crowd will be a factor, and I think it's an advantage for Liverpool, but it can be a pressure as well. You have to really play at this level in a game of this importance, and Roma's result against Barcelona is a very respectable result. To score in the new camp, to go and score the 3 goals at home, to keep Messi quiet, and all of that, in Rome, that's seriously good performance. When you consider that Barcelona beat Seville 5-0 in the Spanish Cup last night, final. Seville knocked Manchester United out of the Champions League, and Liverpool had great difficulty with them in the qualifying stages. So Roma will be a well-drilled, functioning team. Like most Italian teams, they won't give you goals. They won't shoot themselves in the foot. And so Liverpool are going to have to work for everything they get and hope that they get on a wave. If they get a goal early on and they can, ride the wave, maybe get another one. But it's a tough tough ask.
That's a good point you Eamon says about the counter-attacking stuff. That's why Liverpool are so good away from home, but the teams that do sit in against them, and I suppose to answer your question about why would Roma not play the way against Barcelona, they had to play that way. They were 3 down, they had to come out and attack and come out and score and go 100 mile an hour for minute 1. So tomorrow's different. It's a fresh start for both teams, so they can afford to maybe sit in and revert back to that style of theirs.